Hello everyone, it's Tammy at Creative Girl Vintage, and I'm so happy you're here because today we're going to do a little flip through of my garden journal, and if you stick around to the end, I have a quick tour for you of our vegetable garden. So when we decided to get serious about our vegetable garden this year, I wanted to have a functional journal that I could document information, keep a record of things, and here's how I started out, okay? I dredged this up somewhere. I'm not really even sure where. Post-it note, garden journal. And then I started filling this in and laying this out. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. I'm just the kind of person that I just love to look at beautiful things. And I just love to feel inspired. And that was not cutting it. Okay. I had to come up with another plan. So at the flea market, I found the perfect book. 25 cents, not in the greatest shape, but that doesn't matter. It's A Child's Garden of Verses by Robert Louis Stevenson. So I knew I'd found my journal. So on the front is a sweet picture of 3 little children. I framed it in a little laser cut wood frame with some velvet vintage flowers, lace, greenery, and even a little bumblebee. So let's open this up and we'll do a little quick flip through. Okay, first of all, I did 3 signatures for this book. And this is the current one I'm using right now, which is Veggie Garden 2020. So these 2 signatures are in here and ready to go for the next 2 years. So I can have 3 years of journaling in this book. And I started out with the cover. This is a page from the book, The Gardener. Isn't that wonderful? And coffee dyed paper. I have a little bunny on his little bicycle here, and he's heading into the vegetable garden. Okay, this is just a little decorative page I did over here. It's a page from the book, Garden Days, some lavender, bumblebee, velvet ribbon, and now this is where we get to work. I put the graph paper in. This is the layout of the garden and where everything is. How many times would we go out and pick something and say, I have no idea what kind of tomato this even is, but it's really good. I would like to plant it next year, but don't know what it is. Documented everything, so I know exactly where everything's planted and the date it was planted. Now, this is a little weather-themed page. If you've ever kept a 5-year journal, it is so fun to look back at what actually happened, you know, like the year before, especially with the weather. I don't know, maybe, is it just me? I don't know, but I'll look back and say, oh, can you believe it was actually snowing on this day last year? But that's really fun to kind of have a record of that. So what I did here, I have a page from the book, and I made a pocket with a little poem about rain. This one here is a poem about summer sun. I made these like a bookmark, scrap paper on the back, numbered them down 1 to 31, rubber stamped the month, and I just keep a track here every day. I write in the temperature, if it's humid, if it's gorgeous, if we're having a storm, whatever it is. I just do a little weather documentation right in there, and it looks pretty too. This right here was a vintage cocoa advertising card that had some gorgeous birds on it. I've got some pages here from an old ledger that I cut out. And this is where I'll do a little daily journaling on special things that are happening. When the first cucumber popped up, when the first tomato came on the vine, when the turtle laid her eggs in the yard. So this is really fun to have just a little record on my little garden musings page of what was going on that day. This is a pocket I made, and this is simply made for sticking these little flower picks in. I don't know how many times I'm the worst. I'll just plant something. I'll get a perennial, I'll plant it, and what happens is it comes up the next year and I don't really have a clue what it is, when I even planted it. I had no documentation. Kind of like the tomato, you know, I don't even know what it is. So I made this pocket, sweet butterfly, and I just put in here's our fig, you know, the day we planted it, the name of the fig. So all my information's in that pocket. This is my little garden photo pocket. And I have, of course, like just about everybody else, my phone with 1,500 photos that you just do this, hoping your phone doesn't crash because you're going to lose them all. So what I did was had some pictures developed so I could stuff them in my garden photo pocket. So I put them on a brad and some pictures of the garden. It's just fun to see when things started popping up out of the ground. And my favorite picture here is the one of our first tomato. So those pop right in that pocket right there. Cute. Now I've got 2 pages here. I don't know what to do with them. So I got to come up with a good idea for these pages. If you guys have an idea of something that would be nice on these pages, please leave me something in the comments because I really would like some ideas for these pages. So then I get to the end of this year's signature, and this is kind of where I'm planning for next year, some ideas for next year. And this is a picture that came out of the book, Looking Forward. It's just precious, isn't it? And this little pocket here with the tag, maybe next year. I put some more of those ledger pages in here just to remind myself that I'd like a bigger herb garden in the ground and to please don't overplant. And you'll see when you see the video, yeah, that was a little bit of a problem this year. So that was the end of the first signature for Veggie Garden 2020. I'll finish showing you just the rest of the journal. This is the back cover, which this was a page out of the book. We have a laser cut garden fairy here with her beautiful flowers. And then the back of the book, this was a colored page that was inside the book. A wind blowing all day long. Vintage lace tops it all off there. And there you go. There's a functional little garden journal that I just set it on my kitchen counter and I see it every day and I open it every day and jot something down and I really enjoy it. So I want to thank you so much for joining me on this little flip through. And what do you say we go take a look at that vegetable garden? Let's go.